Hey everybody, this coming Sunday, September 11th, we are starting our newest set of classes called our Catechetical Conversations. And these will be weekly classes that are centered around the Anglican Catechism that came out several years ago. And this is a part of our effort to be a church that forms disciples. We desire to be a church family that forms disciples of Jesus Christ, lives generously, and shares the love of God in our neighborhoods. And when we talk about being disciples, we're talking about being the kind of people who are aware of God's presence in our lives and in the world around us and who respond to that. And part of being aware of God and responding to Him is knowing something about Him and about the way of life that He has revealed for us. So these classes are a way for us to engage in those sorts of topics of what are we committing to and what does that mean as we say yes to living this life in the kingdom of God, particularly as we wrestle through the doctrines and the ways of viewing the world and those sorts of things that the Catechism wants to address. So these classes aimed at forming us as disciples alongside our worship and our small groups and our discipleship groups, they will take place on Sundays from 2:45 to 3:30 p.m. in the fellowship hall. We'll have round tables set up. We'll gather around the tables and we'll lead this discussion where there'll be some teaching, but a lot of time to share our own experience with things and then wrestle through with the implications of what has been shared. So I hope that you are able to come and willing to come. On Sundays, they will run through the small group term, so they'll coincide with the small group term. So this will be September 11th through November 13th this fall. And these classes are open to all ages. Now, we have our youth group that runs from 2:30 to 3:30, and we have our 7-Eleven ministry that runs from 2:45 to 3:30. But for all those who are not involved in those, you are welcome to come and be a part of these catechetical conversations. Not just welcome to, but encouraged, exhorted to come and engage in this aspect of the life of the mind and the life of faith. So I do want to point out, as something that's obvious for many of you, is that the timing of these classes does conflict with some of our serving responsibilities on Sunday. That's particularly those who set up, who do tech, who help with our altar team or our music team, that this runs into that time. And just to acknowledge that, we're certainly not saying you should not serve in order to be a part of these, but rather our hope is that more of us are joining in the serving so that those who are serving in these ministries would have to miss less often. But also, this is the kind of class and these are the kind of discussions that it can easily be drop in and drop out as your serving schedule allowed or perhaps your travel schedule or things like that. It's not a 100% attendance required, though obviously that would be great as we engage in this together. So I hope you can come. It's open to everybody. It's going to be Sundays throughout the small group term, and we hope that through this we can all be aware of what's going on ahead of the service, maybe engage and help with that, and we don't have too much time that we lose in those efforts.